Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. You are most welcome to the Innovention Roundtable 2023, themed Artificial Intelligence and the Future of Marketing Communications. As we all know, artificial intelligence is a significant technology that is transforming the marketing communications landscape, offering new opportunities for marketers to engage with consumers in more personalized and targeted ways. My name is Tosin Adefeko, founder 833 Resources, a communications consultancy based out of Lagos, but well primed to serve the world. It is an honor and privilege to be your moderator today. To proceed, please let's take the national anthem. Thank you. I'd like to welcome Dr. Tunji Olugbodi, the Executive Vice Chairman of Verdant Zeal and Innovention Series, for his welcome address. Dr. Olugbodi, please.
Good morning to all our esteemed guests from all around the globe. Good morning from Lagos, Nigeria. If you are joining us from Asia, I'll say good evening. If you are joining us from Europe and America, I think it's still good morning. I'd also like to welcome the keynote speaker, Mr. Emeka Okeke, our distinguished panelist, Mr. Wale Kudayo, and Ms. Damilola Oluwatumishe. But above all, I'd also like to thank Tosin for accepting to moderate this very important occasion for us. On behalf of the Verdant Zeal Group, I welcome you to the Innovention Roundtable, which we've themed appropriately, I believe so, artificial intelligence and the future of marketing communications. As a leading communications agency, the Innovention Series, as it relates to Verdant Zeal and our interest, provides a platform for a robust exchange of ideas, and it also helps to pinpoint ideas, opportunities for development and growth within the continent. It is our belief that at Verdant Zeal that the country, and indeed the continent, requires a great number of creative and constructive thinkers who can establish an agenda that helps to foster growth. Thus, our primary objective at this gathering today will be to discuss and to build a solid framework for the marketing and communications industry in the era of artificial intelligence. As the EVC at Verdant Zeal, I believe this theme helps to shed light on the recent Hollywood writers and actors strike, which serves as a very powerful reminder of the indispensable role that human creativity plays in the entertainment industry. I believe it underscores the notion that human talent is a driving force behind captivating storytelling, captivating performances, and indeed the emotional connection that deeply with audiences. This should strike a chord when we consider the future of marketing communications, an industry that is built on creativity and strengthening meaningful connections with consumers. Artificial intelligence, which is a rapidly advancing technology, has the potential to completely change how companies and organizations interact with their customers. Looking ahead, the future of marketing communications is likely, I believe, to be heavily influenced by the continued development and integration of AI technologies. I believe it is necessary to then champion conversations on the use on how the use of AI in marketing can be leveraged to drive growth, innovation, and positive change. This theme today, I believe during the course of the discussions, should focus on three key elements. One, exploring how the use of AI can impact and transform the field of marketing communications. Two, what are the future challenges of AI in marketing communications? And three, what are the opportunities AI may offer in the future for personalized and targeted marketing messages? Perhaps I should add a bonus. How is AI going to impact marketing teams' productivity in the future? As we navigate this ever-evolving landscape, let us create a path that I believe will leverage the capabilities that AI brings to the table while preserving the human touch that makes marketing communications not just effective, but truly impactful. By doing this, we can confidently face the future, knowing that we have harnessed the power of AI to enhance our creative endeavors to shape a better world. Once again, I'd like to welcome you to this discussion, and I wish all of us a very successful deliberation. And by the end of this whole interaction, I believe that we'll better for it in terms of knowledge exchange and sharing ideas and notions that will make us better practitioners. Thank you very much, and welcome to the Innovation Roundtable 2023.
Thank you, Doctor. For you to have kept this series on, you and the Verdant Zeal team to have kept this series on for over a decade. You inspire those who was coming behind you. So thank you for that. As Dr. Olubodi just said, this is a corporate social responsibility program instituted by Verdant Zeal Communications in 2012 to examine the development of Africa, to discuss the Nigerian project, as well as pinpoint opportunities for development and growth. Each year, the Innovation Series tries to identify one key area that can change the world, especially in an age where the global economy continues to trend so unpredictably. Let's watch the documentary on how artificial intelligence is reshaping the marketing communications industry. Thank you.
In today's fast-paced world, where technology evolves at an unprecedented rate, one innovation stands out: artificial intelligence, AI. From self-driving cars to medical diagnosis, AI has transformed multiple industries. Now, it's reshaping the landscape of marketing communications. In an era inundated with information, businesses are seeking smarter ways to connect with their target audience. Enter AI-driven marketing. Traditional marketing methods involved manual analysis of data, a time-consuming and often error-prone process. AI, however, can analyze vast amounts of data in real time, providing insights that drive informed decisions. AI-powered chatbots, like those you find on websites, have revolutionized customer interaction. They offer instant responses, enhancing user experiences and saving time for both customers and businesses. Marketing professionals are now armed with AI tools that help them predict trends and consumer behavior. These insights guide the creation of personalized campaigns that resonate with individuals on a deeper level. Voice search has become a ubiquitous part of our lives. AI voice assistants are now changing how consumers interact with brands. Marketers must adapt their strategies to optimize for voice search, ensuring their content reaches audiences through this new channel. Industry experts believe that AI is not here to replace marketers, but rather to enhance their capabilities. As AI takes care of repetitive tasks, marketers can focus on strategy, creativity, and building meaningful connections with customers. The realm of content creation is also experiencing a revolution. AI can now generate written articles, design visuals, and even edit videos. This expedites the creative process, enabling marketers to produce high-quality content at a rapid pace. So, what does the future hold? Imagine walking down the streets of a city where AI-driven holographic advertisements respond to your preferences and emotions in real time. The convergence of AI and marketing communications is an exciting journey into the future. As technology continues to advance, the possibilities are limitless. By harnessing the power of AI, businesses can forge stronger connections, create impactful campaigns, and deliver personalized experiences that resonate with consumers on a whole new level. The Innovention Series is a corporate social responsibility platform instituted in 2012 by Verdant Zeal. Each year, the Innovention Series tries to identify one key idea that can change the world, especially in an age where the global economy continues to trend so unpredictably. This year, the Innovention Roundtable brings you artificial intelligence and the future of marketing communications.
You need to unmute.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just realized I was on mute. I'll just take that again. I was just saying that with that, short video, we can see how AI is transforming every aspect of our lives, our businesses, our careers, everything. It's just as well that we get to sit with experts today to deliberate and reflect on the impact of AI on our industry. There's no better subject matter expert than our keynote speaker for today, Mr. Emeka Okeke. Can we play his citation before we call him to make his presentation?
Emeka Okeke is the founder of Media Fuse Dental Nigeria as well as director of Dental Ghana. Emeka has earned notable awards for himself, some of which include Media Entrepreneur of the Year 2014, Outstanding Leadership in Advertising 2017, Outstanding Media Advertising Leadership Awards 2018, and Advertising Professional of the Year 2018, among numerous others to the credit of the network in Nigeria. He is a Distinguished Fellow of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria and the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Emeka Okeke.
Emeka Okeke, please join us.
Good morning, Tosi. Good morning, Tunji. Good morning, members of the panel. Good morning, our wide audience. First, let me confirm if everyone can see my screen and that you can hear me loud enough.
Yes, we can.
Okay, fine. Thank you. I think for me, it's a privilege to be invited to be the keynote speaker or give a keynote address for this topic, which has been the hottest topic of the day outside of the wars around the world going on. And in order to keep within the 15 minutes time bound, there will never be enough time to discuss artificial intelligence in its broad terms. But for this occasion, for this keynote address, we will narrow it down to marketing communications, which is our own side of industry and how it affects us. So to kickstart this short keynote address, I've made a note on what the discussion notes should be so that I don't stray outside the confines of what I'm expected to do. I'll first start by trying to differentiate AI from other technologies, as there are quite a lot of misconceptions about AI today. In a place, we'll look at how AI highlight how AI is redefining the marketing ecosystem and try as much as possible to relate it to our own geography. Then what the current status is in terms of opinion, and then what 2023 AI trends are we seeing currently in the marketplace and the world at large. Then, in order for us to understand what challenges that we see, it will be important for us to look at the frequently asked questions by marketers, and at the same time, try to debunk some of the myths about AI in this keynote address. And finally, I'll sign off with what the future is like. What is the future of AI in marketing and it impacts us? So straight on, artificial intelligence has one definition. Simply, it is what it is. It is development of computer systems that can perform tasks. This is all over the place that humans will ordinarily do. But I want us to take key note of 4 main tasks that makes artificial intelligence really artificial, in the sense that it's trying to mimic the human intelligence. Human intelligence around the visual perception of things, human intelligence around speech recognition, human intelligence around decision making, which is key, and then human intelligence around language translation. So this is what artificial intelligence is. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel. This is all over the place. And in order for us, in summary, there are things and there are misconceptions about artificial intelligence. And some of those misconceptions are summarized as follows. 1, that machines learn by themselves. 2, that machines are objective, more objective than humans. 3, that machines can learn and evolve on themselves. 4, that you will need to remove human beings and replace them with machines. So, back to the screen, what this says to me is that technologies that need humans to operate are not assumed to be AI. Technologies that need humans to make decisions are not seen as AI. Technologies that need humans to control functionalities are not, by implication and by functionality, AI. And finally, technologies that rely only on algorithms to function are also not AI. Therefore, what if this is the scenario and if these are the perceptions all over the place, what therefore differentiates AI from other technologies? It's in some instances, there are tiny lines, but in my view, the core difference is that artificial intelligence can learn from its experience. Why non-AI technologies cannot improve on themselves without human interference to control them, make decisions, control their functionalities, and configure algorithms designed to deliver foreseeable results. So that's the difference, the way I see the difference coming through. Right. If that is the case, AI has evolved within a very short period of time with a lot of tools that are redefining the marketing ecosystem. Those tools cut across productivity, video, marketing, core marketing, chatbots, design, and writing. You can find this on the YouTube. It's all over the place. All right. I just found one piece where I could get as much as possible where all the major tools sit. So, but if we drill down further, so the reason I played this video is for us, it will seem today that when you speak about AI, what readily comes to mind is the latest kid in the block, which is ChatGPT. I played this video to open our minds to the fact that ChatGPT is just one out of over 100 tools available to marketers to navigate this space. And so, that being the case, the current status today is one in which, the emergence of generative AI tools such as ChatGPT has already impacted the way in which people work today at an unprecedented pace and scale. Notwithstanding this excitement, generative AI technology is still developing and is yet to reach maturity stage. I need to emphasize this. We are not yet at the end of the tunnel. It is still developing, it is still evolving. And so we have to be careful on the way we make conclusions about this tool. Although generative AI is a powerful collaborator when compared to previous technology shifts, it requires diligence and awareness of its potential to navigate and deliver excellence and sustainable growth. So it's not one shoe fits all as we think, or as a lot of marketers and other people may begin to think and say, all the answers I need are in AI. ChatGPT is just one of the tools available at the disposal of marketers to use. So having said that, I'd like to look at some of the trends in marketing today, where AI has impacted marketing, is impacting marketing, and is developing the frontiers of marketing, taking it to the new level. First, these are also common things that we read every day. Predictive analytics for better decision. This takes away manual analysis of data if you have the right algorithm and the machines. And let us also note that because we say it is a confluence of machines put together, systems, to try to mimic the human intelligence, 6 to 7 critical areas will be of interest. Therefore, for anybody who wants to go into the space of developing skills for AI, machine learning will be key. Machine learning will be key. Human-computer interface will be key. Prompt engineering will be key. Big data will be key. Navigating the space of big data. Big maths and its algorithm will be key. Human behavior and emotions will be key. Predictions and forecasts will be key. And then the speed of delivery of information will be very key. So that said, therefore, predictive analytics for better decision making is faster today with the use of AI. Video creation and production is also at a pace. If you check the internet,
I think we lost Emeka. Is it just me? Technical, can you confirm?
Yes, we lost him for a bit.
Okay.
Let's see if he comes
We'll just
back.
give him a minute to come back.
Okay.
Emeka will be back shortly. Emeka will be back shortly.
In today's fast-paced world, where technology evolves at an unprecedented rate, one innovation stands out: artificial intelligence, AI. From self-driving cars to medical diagnosis, AI has transformed multiple industries. Now, it's reshaping the landscape of marketing communications. In an era inundated with information, businesses are seeking smarter ways to connect with their target audience. Enter AI-driven marketing. Traditional marketing methods involved manual analysis of data, a time-consuming and often error-prone process. AI, however, can analyze vast amounts of data in real time, providing insights that drive informed decisions. AI-powered chatbots, like those you find on websites, have revolutionized customer interaction. They offer instant responses, enhancing user experiences and saving time for both customers and businesses. Marketing professionals are now armed with AI tools that help them predict trends and consumer behavior. These insights guide the creation of personalized campaigns that resonate with individuals on a deeper level. Voice search has become a ubiquitous part of our lives. AI voice assistants are now changing how consumers interact with brands. Marketers must adapt their strategies to optimize for voice search, ensuring their content reaches audiences through this new channel. Industry experts believe that AI is not here to replace marketers, but rather to enhance their capabilities. As AI takes care of repetitive tasks, marketers can focus on strategy, creativity, and building meaningful connections with customers. The realm of content creation is also experiencing a revolution. AI can now generate written articles, design visuals, and even edit videos. This expedites the creative process, enabling marketers to produce high-quality content at a rapid pace. So, what does the future hold? Imagine walking down the streets of a city where AI-driven holographic advertisements respond to your preferences and emotions in real time. The convergence of AI and marketing communications is an exciting journey into the future. As technology continues to advance, the possibilities are limitless. By harnessing the power of AI, businesses can forge stronger connections, create impactful campaigns, and deliver personalized experiences that resonate with consumers on a whole new level. The Innovention Series is a corporate social responsibility platform instituted in 2012 by Verdant Zeal. Each year, the Innovention Series tries to identify one key idea that can change the world, especially in an age where the global economy continues to trend so unpredictably. This year, the Innovention Roundtable brings you artificial intelligence and the future of marketing communications.
Do we have Emeka back on now by any chance?
Yes, he is. He's back now.
Okay.
We'll be joining shortly.
While we wait for him to log back on, just a reminder that this roundtable is a build-up to the main Innovention Series in October. So please look forward to that. It'll be holding at the Civic Center, and we'll keep you posted. And I think Emeka's presentation will be shared as well, so we can look forward to it in our emails if you're registered with your email, of course. Okay, thank you.
Jocelyn, can you see my screen? I think somebody cut me off from your Zoom platform from your end.
From my office?
Yes.
Really?
Somebody disabled my access. That's why I was cut off.
But we're not controlling anything from here.
I don't know how.
Is the Verdant Zeal team on?
Yes, we're right here.
Okay.
Please go on.
Okay, if everyone can see your screen, Emeka, please go on. Okay, we're just trying to establish what is going on. And I don't know if Emeka can hear me. Emeka, if you can hear me, can you say something? Or anyone from his team? Because Verdant Zeal is on, we are on. So I don't think so. Okay, we'll give him a few more minutes. We have the panel session after this, but we'll give him a few more minutes so he can conclude the context he was trying to set on AI, which I think was important for the conversation we are going to have on the panel session. So let's just give him a few more minutes. Please, let's be patient. Thank you.
All right, Emeka is back.
Emeka, if you're back, please carry on.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry for that interruption, rude interruption. I think it's a Zoom thing, an error occurred and they cut me off. I was saying, with the benefit of hindsight of where I was lost during the presentation, I was saying that having laid the background in terms of what the misconceptions are about AI and what will matter to us since it is about machines coming together to begin to mimic the human intelligence. What are the key trends in marketing that we're seeing today? And some of the key trends we're seeing in marketing today is about AI enabling us to predict use our analytics can be predicted in terms of what decisions we want to make. Quite a good number of tools are available for that. Rapid Miner, Data Robots, etc. are there. Again, for video creation, we've seen AI impact how we create videos, cutting off some jobs, especially in the areas of script writing, edits, transcribing. We've seen potential, I'm sorry to say, of AI also taking up jobs of many actors and anchormen, but I'll come back to this towards the conclusion. We have clearly better audience segmentation. These are also in the space all over the place. Hyper-segmentation is now possible with the use of AI, quantitative and qualitative data to drive near precision targeting and personalization at scale is now possible through the use of AI. But again, more important, but not more important than other benefits that we see AI deliver to the marketing industry today, is that AI is used to augment and enhance teams for increased productivity. So we could see a lot of efficiency in the system. Generative AI is valuable, especially for conceptualization. Dentsu's Content Symphony, for instance, I'm sorry, pardon me if I use Dentsu, because that's the space I'm coming from. For example, integrates AI with machine learning services across the creative ideation and set management. I'm sure that a lot more other networks are also doing the same thing. And so teaming is possible. So it's now possible to create relationships between established areas that Peter used to work in silos. So we've seen relationships being established and growing with leading generative AI platforms to pilot real-world cases for clients. It's also interesting to note that prompt engineering to craft natural language suggestions, as I said earlier, that certain areas and certain professions are being thrown up as a result of the evolution of AI. in affecting practically every aspect of life that we have: machine learning, human-computer interface, prompt engineering, particularly for writers, big data, maths and algorithm, human behavior and emotions, and forecasts and speed at which we deliver things are becoming very key to everything we do. Personalization. AI delivers personalization without reliance on third-party cookies. Josie, please, if anybody has lost me, let me know because of previous.
We're here, Emeka. Please go ahead.
All right. So today, marketers have the ability to leverage tailored experiences across channels in the same place. So this is possible and powered by market-leading data partnerships being signed and entered into by organizations around the world. Is it voice search optimization powered by AI that delivers convenience, accessibility are here, particularly if companies, one of the companies' mandate is to go big into CSR. For instance, accessibility allows people with disabilities or having difficulty in typing to access information, and letting brands demonstrate their commitment to social responsibility and inclusivity. So I'll go as fast as I can, given the minutes that we lost. AI-powered voice assistance we've seen is predicted to grow exponentially by January 2024. We are seeing exponential growth. If you take from slightly over 2 billion in 2019 to anticipated 8.4 billion growth in 2024. That's phenomenal in the space. Therefore, what are we saying? How is artificial intelligence? I just don't want to let out a critical part of the marketing communications, which we think is not happening, and that is the out-of-home industry. Traditional billboards are no longer one size fits all. Advertisers can now tailor their messages to specific audiences. AI facial recognition tech can analyze demographic makeup of pedestrian traffic passing by the bots and display messages that are likely to resonate with the audiences. AI can optimize the timing and display of specific materials for maximum impact. We've tested this in this market through the Densu Light Postal Service, supported and powered by relevant AI tools to deliver contextually, seasonally, and audience-relevant messages for brands. So the out-of-home industry will never be the same. It's been one of the most impacted by AI, but are we embracing that, and what are we doing in the space to take advantage of this technology is another thing, another subject for another day. So I'll go straight into what are the frequently asked questions that we find marketers and everybody asking. And one of the key questions that first come to mind is, will AI replace marketing? If this were to be a face-to-face presentation other than Zoom, I'm sure we'll have a lot of engagement with this question. And then my response to this is that the fear is normal, as people tend to be afraid of what they don't understand. Normal. What you don't understand, you will naturally be afraid of it. Large language models write contents and create impressive images, if we talk about ChatGPT today. However, AI capabilities cannot replace human ability, in my view, to think and to be creative. Creativity is the lifeblood of marketing, regardless of the numbers that are being thrown up using the AI platform. But whereas humans have capacity for empathy, since empathy with the audience is job number one for us as communicators, as marketing communication practitioners, AI, on the other hand, does not have the capacity to empathize. And I believe this could be an interesting subject for discussion at the panel stage. Will AI lead to end of marketing jobs? This question is on everybody's lips. And my first response is yes. Not yes, that we're going to lose jobs. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to scare anybody. Artificial intelligence will inevitably replace certain aspects of our traditional marketing, especially the tedious aspects of analytics and trends. So there are obvious mixed feelings of excitement and fear about the fast emergence of natural language processing tools powered by AI, known as the large language models. And therefore, these language models are almost human-like when you chat with them. So in the next 5 years, we see chatbots are expected to become even more advanced, providing personalized recommendations and even booking appointments and making recommendations and tracking customer behavior. The other question is, will AI take over decision-making? Will AI take over decision-making? And I say, no, AI will not take over decision-making. AI will only make decision-making faster. AI will lack, of course, the emotional intelligence to handle interpersonal relationships. There are growing reservations about data collected by AI devices, which must be good and devoid of being incomplete, corrupted, or biased, in a way capable of being worse than having no data at all. I just think I have to stress this point. Is there anything to worry about artificial intelligence at all? And the question is this: there are several and significant compliance issues associated with generative AI. Hence, some organizations are primarily focusing on using AI in some restrictive manner, especially for research, ideation, and inspiration. Some businesses are already evaluating all the relevant platforms, working with all platforms, Microsoft, OpenAI, ChatGPT, DALL-E, Adobe, Firefly, etc. There are regulatory issues to deal with when using AI. There's clear and urgent need for additional oversight and governance in the use of AI. What is the future of marketing? What is the future of AI in marketing? In my opinion, place of AI in the future of marketing is still not perfect, if you ask me, but this is a subject for discussion at the panel discussion stage. Whereas it is evident that AI is helping a lot of businesses generate results and automating a lot of tasks. Therefore, with a lot of potentials to revolutionize marketing, it is not a replacement. I need to stress this. It is not a replacement for human expertise and creativity. AI enhances people's potentials. It doesn't replace it. Auto ChatGPT is on the way. It is a close brother to ChatGPT with a unique feature to make decisions on its own without requiring detailed prompts like ChatGPT. Marketers will need to adapt and adopt to stay in the game or be left behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emeka. I know you said it in the beginning that there was no way your 15 minutes could justify this topic, and I am tempted to agree totally with you, because honestly, I was enjoying that. I was looking forward to more, and then you said thank you. But it's okay. We'll take what you've we'll take what you've given us. Very illuminating presentation. Thank you very much. I think this is the stage where we can dive deeper into the conversation. And it's good context that you have set. So I'm going to use the opportunity now to invite my panelists for today, Mr. Wale Ekundayo and Mrs. Damilola Oluwatomise. We can play the citation first and we'll dive straight into the conversation. Thank you.
Wale Ekundayo is the founder of Celebrity Digital with over 25 years of experience in the industry. Wale has worked with leading global and continental brands looking to reach the continent of Africa. Wale has worked with notable brands in Nigeria and across. One of Wale's notable achievements was running an activation for the Unilever Nigeria Lifebuoy brand, which got into the Guinness Book of World Record for the largest number of children washing their hands at the same time on Global Hand Washing Day. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Wale Ekundayo.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me today.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, Wale. And we have Damilola's citation.
Damilola Oluwatumise is the founder of Creative Pluck Limited and Code School Africa, a digital product studio. Damilola is an alumni of the Academy for Women Entrepreneur AWE by the U.S. Consulate Lagos and has received certificates such as Central Bank of Nigeria Entrepreneurship Development Center Business Training Certificate. She is also an associate member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Damilola Oluwatumise.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. It's a
Morning,
pleasure to be
Damilola.
here today. Thank you for having me.
You are most welcome, Wale and Damilola. I think I'm in good company. I feel like you're the best to dig deeper into this conversation. Wale coming from his expertise as a marketing communications professional, and Dami, I feel like you're in your comfort zone. We're speaking about coding, and you run a coding school, so it's perfect. I think our keynote speaker already established the main fact of AI and its importance in our everyday life. What I want us to aim for on this panel is to provide answers to burning questions. And I'm sure the audience also has questions to ask. Please feel free to drop it in the Q&A chat. I will pause intermittently to take your questions, but let's allow Dami and Wale to sort of like share their own thoughts on how AI can impact our field of marketing communications, especially to aid customer retention and engagement and loyalty. Another aspect I want us to be able to dive into is how AI can optimize marketing across various communications channels and touch points. Of course, Dami would also be able to speak to us about creation of personalized and targeted ads and timely messages and how AI can influence that. I know Emeka touched a bit on that on his keynote. And we can then reflect on opportunities, challenges, and strategies to overcome them. I will be asking you at the end what we should expect for the future. So does this set a good context for us to dive in?
Absolutely.
Great. I'll just take that as a yes. If you're just joining us, the theme for today's discussion is artificial intelligence and the future of marketing communications. We have the most illuminating presentation from our keynote. Hopefully you didn't miss that. If you did, we will share with you later. Wale, let me start with you. A survey was done, in 2017, when I was doing a bit of back-end research, that 1 in 5 companies have incorporated AI in some form in their offering or their processes, whatever, the healthcare industry, the healthcare for diagnosis, manufacturing, for supply chain management, in education, the military for logistics. AI is everywhere. It's part of us, right? It has started to gain widespread prominence in marketing in the early 2020s, especially with generative AI. Emeka spoke to the fact that ChatGPT is on everybody's lips in this day and age, So coming from your own perspective as a marketing professional, you've been in the business for almost 3 decades. So let's take this conversation from the perspective of creativity, which is a strong human-led marketing communication function. The human factor required for tasks like strategy development, writing, ideation, visual, creativity, voiceovers. So, the list is endless, right? Can now be done with AI-enabled technology. Can you take us through your creative journey and basically highlight your thoughts on AI as an enabler or as a burden? Is AI here to wipe us all off the surface of the
Okay, so thank you so much, Tosin. And first of all, I'd like to thank the EVC of Verdant Zeal. The consistency level is unbelievable. Not just that, Verdant Zeal still remains at the cutting edge of most things, very future I mean, the first word, innovation, bringing innovation and what's it called now? Innovation. And so there's a combination of two words, which is innovates and invention, right? And that basically for me is it's a major landmark as far as that is concerned. Now, going to this conversation on how is AI empowering now, it basically just gives me this chill of when we had the situation of Y2K, right? At that point in time, people had just started this entire thing on Microsoft's Office. I could remember clearly back then when the entire Y2K, the entire world is going to come to an end, plane will stop working, and all of that, and people were panicking and jittery about what's going to happen, you know, to their jobs, what's going to happen to their lives, and all of that. People were they were actually going to the extreme. And I think this is one of the things that technology does to people. People are apprehensive as to what's going to happen. But the truth about the matter is that you really can never, at any point in time, go beyond your level of intellect as a people, as humans in general. You can never go beyond what we currently have obtainable, so to speak. So it would always enhance. And that's what's one of the beauty of AI, which is artificial intelligence, is mimicking what we already know. So for instance, I mean, and some of these things are already being tested in movies, right? Where you can use a certain lens, for instance, to recognize certain things. So for instance, we're getting to the level where people are getting to eat certain foods, right? You know, so it's no longer the quote unquote balance that I'm using that as an example. And the reason why I'm using that is this, where we have a new client who basically wanted to do certain things along the lines of giving people specific type of food, which essentially is good food, balanced foods, and see certain things. I mean, right now there are quite a number of things along the lines of those things. So nutritionists have had a field day, you know, in terms of providing certain food to people. I'm using that as an example. Now, how does AI begin to help each and every one of us to get to that point as an individual? Because at some point, this thing will drive down back to individuals having to take responsibility for whatever it is that you're doing. So now we're getting to see creativity soar to a certain level. Now people who are writing copies are leveraging on those things to get inspiration, not that they don't know what to do. Because if you are never smart, if you are not smart, if you are dumb, and you don't know what to do, AI is never going to help you. So you can then see that machine essentially helps. It's almost like somebody who wants to pound yam and now gets a poundo. Let's use that as an example. Now, I'm going to the basiest of all so that it's easier for us all to understand what AI is, so to speak. So you can see in the real life scenarios whereby now, for instance, this is almost going to be impossible, maybe like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, where we are having a conversation extremely on virtual platform without any physical interaction and all of that. If somebody had told us that this was going to happen, it would almost be impossible, right? And that's, so for instance, for event owners and all of that, those things, they lost quite a lot of business during COVID as a result of this, but those people who were able to reinvent themselves were able to tap into the next phase of their lives. So AI is essentially here to help us. So even in the marketing space, for instance, where you are asking, a lot of people, a lot of brands are demanding high turnaround time. So you want to do maybe, say, for instance, a content calendar that typically would have taken you 3 to 4 days or something. They are demanding from you that this thing must be done today. And then for you as well as an agency, if you want to have more businesses, it's important for you to begin to leverage those things, not that to rely on it solely, because the point of actual creativity will be needed in terms of getting those things properly sorted in such a way that your input will be required.
And a good example is this. Google Maps does not know everywhere. The only way Google Maps begins to understand, I mean, there was that joke about some guy who, was following Google Maps and entered into the water and all of that. And then he said, you have reached your destination. And the destination was in the middle of the sea. So it's learning from inputs. AI will consistently learn from inputs. And the inputs will be by human interference. Humans have got to have a whole lot of things to do with AI to be perfected. And so the level of our own intelligence, the level of our own interference will enable the level of AI perfection, so to speak. I hope I've been able to answer that question. I mean, let me otherwise, it's not a presentation, so yeah.
Well, I love it. I mean, I think you captured the essence of AI in those short few minutes. The bottom line is human interaction is still very important to the success of AI. Let's stay on that thought while I bring Dami into the conversation. And I know, Dami, your expertise lies in the core technology area. I feel like you should be able to tell us a bit about how AI can support our marketing. As communications professionals, most of the work we do is data-based. Everything we do is premised on research, premised on analytics. Emeka did speak to the fact that we need to drop the tedious part of it and allow AI to help us, generate some of our research with more ease. Can you speak to how AI can support the creation of personalized messages, the targeting aspect of marketing? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Tosin. And I would like to use the opportunity to thank the CEO of the Verdant Zeal Group. It is actually a great honor to be here. From my perspective, I believe, first of all, we need to understand the fact that AI is here to stay. Because if you understand the languages that AI is structured, the languages and the framework that AI is structured around, you know that it actually can only get better. And like Wale said, AI would not erode the importance of human inputs. It would not. AI is built with languages like Python, Java. I'm actually saying this from the technical point of view, like Python, Java, C++, Julia, and Lisp. So it means that, and these languages, they've actually been found to, they are never outdated. That's the honest fact. Yeah, compared to where you come, where people were learning with Dreamweaver and the rest. Yeah, where they were building websites and building applications with Dreamweavers and the rest. These languages have been found. You can only get the 2.0, the 3.0, like to make it better. And a good example of how AI is being used for retargeting is, if you are very familiar, recently I went on Instagram to search for waist trainer. Like, I was just like, okay, maybe I should just, I'm sure Tosi can probably relate, yeah, to search for waist trainer. And I saw some vendors, and amazingly, yeah, since last week or thereabouts, Instagram has been giving me advertisements and content of waist trainer vendors or anybody that is even talking about weight loss. You understand? So that's how companies like Google and Facebook have been able to actually use AI to retarget. Yeah, before AI came on board, we were talking about retargeting. Yeah, you could, and most time it was basically on websites, like they use cookies and all that. But now you don't even have to allow cookie for any website. Just go anywhere, and it's literally bring back what you search for. So to me, I believe the future of marketing for AI is going to undergo serious transformation. Like, there will be transformation, but this transformation is not based on the languages that these AI tools are built with. And making some research, I was sharing with Tosi, in January, yeah, Microsoft unveiled Valhi. And what Valhi does is, in 3 seconds, just speak to it. It can mimic It can mimic your sound exactly like you, like the nuances that you would use where you will want to pause when when giving a communication, where you will want to laugh or something, it would project that back. But still on still, like my people will say, AI would never replace human. It will only make our work easier. It will only make us more efficient. I think I would like to use that word. It will only make us more efficient. But for AI is even put together by humans. It wasn't like the computer just come by itself and put itself together. This coding is actually being imputed by humans. So that means that no matter how we see it, AI, if we can integrate AI in marketing, especially in retargeting, I'm sure that we would get to this at some point. Companies like GSK, AI is just beyond ChatGPT, and Mr. Emeka also said that it is beyond using ChatGPT and what have you. Companies like GSK used virtual reality to market their product. And I was watching one where that you could, with the use of AI, you can literally go through what somebody that has a migraine go through on a daily basis. Like how the advertisement was centered on someone who, on migraine pains, and the family and friends, like, oh, you just don't imagine what this person is saying. Come and experience what the person is saying, so that you would be able to feel that, oh, if this person says that I'm having migraine, you can really relate. You understand? So that's how powerful AI is. But still, it's powerful for retargeting, like I've mentioned earlier. But still, it would never replace human. It doesn't carry human emotions, so to say, easily. So it would never relate. I hope I answered your question.
Damila, thank you so much for that submission. I think to a very large extent, you've touched on even the next question I was going to ask when I come back to you. When you were talking about whispering, and I was smiling because it almost feels like witchcraft when you do any searches these days. But I guess it's just AI in play. But it does have its pros and its cons. And I will come back to you with a question on weak AI, right? And I'll use your previous example. But let's go to Wale. And Wale, I want us to talk about AI as a critical tool that supports brands, right? I think we now know that AI has moved from an enterprise level type application to a tool that is available, it's accessible to all and sundry, right? So it's been used to solve multiple problems. But how can let's talk about optimization. How can AI be used to optimize in marketing across multiple channels and platforms? Can you speak about that, please?
All right, so let's start out. Let's be practical now. Let's start out with the strategy point of view. Now, you're trying to come up with a strategy which essentially, whatever point of strategy that you're doing must result into a profit and loss at the end of the day, depending on what it is that you're looking out for. I'll recall very clearly, when the entire thing about advertising started out, it was about eyeballs, it was about visibility, and there was hope that people will, on the premise of visibility, they will buy their products. Now we've moved away from eyeballs to conversion. So you get to see things like, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever strategy that you're doing must convert. And brands are getting more bolder or more demanding, so to speak, and asking for specifics in terms of, I want this to be done. And I can give you an example. So if a bank, for instance, comes out, let's use that as a case study, comes out with a product, say back to school, for instance, and they need X amount of people to convert or to make a decision in terms of deposits and all whatnot. Now, those things are real terms. They are real things, right? So when you come up with a solution, right, that basically allows, you're saying that you want that strategy to be implemented. Now, what AI dictates is not for you to sit wherever it is that you are and come up with a strategy on behalf of people based on your own knowledge, right? Because it's now very critical. Now, in more recent times, let me even be more practical. The CEO of Jumia came out and said between last year and this year, they've lost over 1 million customers, right? What that means is that they've lost much more than the 1 million customers. That's actual real value. Now, if somebody's coming up with a strategy for them, you can't just say, let us do X, Y, Z. You have got to find out why did they lose customers, and AI would help you in terms of those things. So what decisions are people making? And for some reason, we did that in recent times, and we found out that most people are doing more of social shopping than actual shopping. So people are buying more stuff on Instagram than social media. Now, you can be gassing yourself up and say, put billboards there, put that there, put this here, make a lot of noise and all of that. That's not why people are buying what they are buying anymore. So purchase decisions, how are they making those things? Now, AI is allowing or helping you to enhance those things on the premise of research, on the premise of decision-making. Like Damilola said, you can clearly see that most of the entire conversation, most of the reasons why people are buying what they're buying, it's not on the premise of, in fact, when she made mention of it, you will see that it's from Instagram that you are able to trail and track people on whatever it is that they are searching, even in terms of content. So you spend 2 seconds or a second higher than maybe on content that shows you animals, maybe dogs or cats and stuff. The next thing you're going to see, the algorithm has changed. So for us to be able to begin to drive sales for ourselves or for the brand, so to speak, is that we also have to adopt those things in terms of coming up with strategy, in terms of coming up with, even to the level of recommending ambassadorial role for any brand. Say, for instance, you want someone to represent your brand. You must be bold enough to allow AI to do those numbers so that when you present those things, like they say on the street, numbers don't lie. The moment you do that, so end to end, you're leveraging on those things. So it's not a gut feel. It is not a feeling. It is much more than a feeling. It is numbers. You go to the places like football, for instance, people are not buying footballers or buying players on the premise of, I like him or he can dribble. It is about the statistics. Somebody can dribble but still does not perform the function. So what is AI teaching us? It is teaching us data analytics. So people must be professional. You are allowing those things to take precedence over your decision-making process. You're in conversations with them. You're not just, you're saying to them in specific, all of their artists and stuff. One of the things that came out clearly was that one of them, which is Rema, had more insight, not just in the usual suspects like US, UK. Now, nobody would have thought that a Rema would appeal to anyone in India, in South America, people who don't even speak your own language. Now, these are the things that, so it's not emotions. You want to go on a tour. I don't think India is the best place for you to want to go on a tour. But AI will give you those kind of insights to say to you that if you really want to, this is where the appeal is coming from. The streams are coming from there. The downloads are coming from there. You don't know why they are doing what they're doing. I remember back then, I think it was at Low Linters or so, where we're running something for Ajinomoto. And they realized that most people, this is even at that level. So AI had always been a part of us, but in form of data. So they realized that most people were buying more of Ajinomoto in what's it called now? In Kano, in Kaduna, and all of those things. And they were buying quite a number of volume. But when they found out that they weren't using it for the purpose of eating or seasoning. They were using it for something different. Now, these are the conversations that should be held. Somebody wrote here and says AI is doing data breach. The truth about the matter is that at the point of sign up with any conversation, people are consistently updating their data protection conversation. When you sign up to it, you have signed up for those kind of things. So you either are a part of this conversation here, or you are not going to be part of the world. So we are leveraging on these things, all right, to improve what it is. So from strategy to execution, from strategy to development of materials, even the materials that you develop. I mean, some people have preferences and say, I want a simple material and all of that. Some people are talking about what's it called, even voiceover artists, for instance. What voice best represents your brand at different points in time? What image represents your brand at different points in time? Those things should never be left to the discretion of one person or two people. It should be subjected to data such that by the time you're done, you're having phenomenal results. Because at the end of the entire day, it is always going to be about profit and loss. And now there are quite a number of people who are losing money, not just because they're not doing anything. You're seeing more small, medium enterprise who are the lifeblood of the entire economy thrive on the premise that they are dabbling into it, not that they have exact science of it, but they're dabbling into it and they are making significant progress. You see a lot of Chinese products coming to Nigeria, different things on different things that we've never seen before, right? Household utensils, all right, couches, so you can sit down there and say you are some big furniture making company and people are going to come to you. Nobody's doing that anymore. The entire conversation has changed. It's about social shopping. Now, if you don't understand those dynamics, the cheese have moved. You are still there looking and waiting for people to come to you. So in terms of marketing, you can see the transition have moved literally from a particular point, which is data-driven, which is AI intelligence, and then you are able to leverage on those things to begin to make significant progress and advancements in marketing. So for me, if you ask me, what I believe is that these things will be critical into the future, except people who are beginning to say, you know what, I don't want to do it, which is, and there have been a lot of people, and I can understand, even on the ladder for adoption, you see the laggers, you see the early adopters, and at some point, all of these things is fast-tracking the entire process. Back then, my mom was never on Facebook until she added me on Facebook. Whatever it is that we're doing, they don't know, right? But now they've mastered the entire act. You literally give somebody a phone. Back then, somebody types a text message on their behalf. Right now, they are able to do and find their way. So technology is advancing. As we begin to leverage it to the next phase, we're talking about things like metaverse right now. We're talking about really major improvements that a lot of people are pushing back on. But those things have come to say, as those things come, the level of intelligence of people way down the ladder are increasing because we've moved on to AI. Some people have not even started on a particular point. At the point where we move to that point and there is some level of saturation, you start seeing a lot of laggers coming in at the base of those things. And that's what I see. The technology is going to improve marketing significantly. There will be a lot of more targeted information. There will be less waste, all right? There will be less waste in terms of marketing spend on what to do and how to target their audience. Thank you so much for that.
Wale, I feel your passion from here. I was not going to stop you even if you wanted to talk.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Wale. I think you basically consolidated the whole point of today that as marketers, we cannot escape, the whole AI conversation. Conversation has changed, marketing has changed, and we have to key in for survival. I'll take that point and I'll stay on it while I move into the conversation about ethics. And I'm happy that Emeka also touched on ethics on his presentation, and he mandated us to speak about it further on this panel. So, and I'm sure Dami can take this for us, but if Wale also wants to lend his view, I think we should dive into this ethical aspect of AI. Dami, the example you used before comes to mind. You were talking about the fact that you type in something and then the next day, every waking moment, you see several ads on whatever it is you're searching for. Now, that can present different opportunities. It presents opportunities for the brands that are trying to push those products to their consumers. But from a consumer perspective, isn't that like a bit eerie? Like, why do you want to feel like you're being, like there's a surveillance camera over your entire existence? That's number one. Some people, apart from the intrusion of privacy, some people feel like there's data sharing issues. And there was this example I saw online. Let me give you the example about the photo app that labeled Black people on a photo as gorillas. I don't know if anyone had seen that. In the course of my research for this conversation, I actually had a good laugh when I saw that. So and this is several years ago, not even in recent times, right? So this photo app then decides not to take out the word gorillas from labeling photos of gorillas. But the problem, trying to fix that problem, now became a problem that many years after, even the app can still not identify gorillas. So isn't this a clear case of garbage in, garbage out? And I know the keynote speaker touched on that. So the whole ethical conversation around AI speaks to me about weak AI. What are the cons of this technology that we're all saddled
with? Okay, basically, AI, it's actually just like it is what you input in your computer that it returns to you. A computer does not come up and say, hey, without you, your first website, when you build a website, the first word that you put, probably hello world, the computer returns that to you as hello world. It won't say hello universe. Do you understand? But what it means, but with the case of AI, what we'll be able to identify is AI gathers data. Yeah, so it is what it is being imputed. And the power of AI is it doesn't just gather data from one person. Yeah, even if a developer develops a platform, AI is actually intelligent. That's why it's called artificial intelligence. Is actually intelligent enough to gather as many user data as possible. Yeah, and it uses it upgrades naturally. And from what Tosin said, also doing some research, I found out I'm sure you've heard something of called deepfakes. What deepfake does is it is an AI, it is an artificial intelligence system that you can go on deepfakes and you can take on the image and the voice of anybody. Yeah, and talking about ethical aspects of it, this particular application has been used severally by Yahoo boys. Let's just put it out there. You understand? It has been used severally by Yahoo boys to defraud thousands of people. Do you understand? So it is AI, and these people that when you go on deepfake, the people who you have their profile, sort of, they've agreed at one point or the other for this AI machine, sort of, to take on their profile and their voice. Sometimes it's curated off the internet, probably of celebrities, of that there was the time you spoke about the Pope wearing blazer, you understand, of celebrities and the rest. But essentially, when you see these profiles on the internet, it is because you and I have accepted to use we've accepted for them to use our information. You know, we are actually Africans. I'm sure Nigerians, we do this a lot. We don't go on a website or an application and they tell you allow cookies or allow whatever. You do not go, nobody goes to read through all of those contents. Just like, okay, I want to get this information, just check, and I'm fine. Do you understand? So allowing those things shows that we've actually consented to it. And although it is bearing so much on ethics, yeah, and it is a place that people with malicious intent can actually thrive on, but this data collected mostly by AI are allowed. That's why you wouldn't see anyone that would successfully sue a company for using their data, because at some point you have told the company, please, you can use my data. I allow you to use my data. I allow you to use my form and voice. Some of those agreements go as far as saying that I allow you to track everything I'm doing on my internet. I allow you to do this. I allow you to use my form and voice to be able to do this. So we wouldn't, in as much as AI can actually tamper on some ethical values, yeah, it can actually breach some you can feel, oh, this is a breach of my privacy. I didn't want this to be out there, but now it is out there. But at some point we allowed it. So it is actually, the onus actually falls on us as, I would say, marketers, to ensure that, because sometimes these things can come out to bite, and we won't assume that, oh, because everybody knows that if you allow this, if a user allowed this, I can use it. Ensure that when you are putting out your terms and conditions, or when you want to gather cookie, or when you want cookies rather, or when you want to use user data, if you want an AI system to use user data, ensure that you actually carry your lawyer along, because there are so many ethical borderlines that AI actually disrupts. That's the honest fact. There are so many ethical borderlines, but still we allow this. We ask for it. I don't know if that's.
I hear you, but are you really saying we're meant to read those legalese? Of course, we all just accept the cookie so that we can read.
Nobody reads it. Okay. So no, I was actually talking to someone that the honest fact is this agreement was not made in mind for you to read them, because you could see like 2,000 like.
Did we lose?
It looks like she's
exactly
gone.
She's frozen. So I mean, I was literally going to ask you anyway, Wale. I know you would want to lend your thoughts to the conversation on ethics as well.
Absolutely. So it reminds me of when an agency starts, right? And then they use tools like CorelDRAW and all of that. Nobody ever checks when you do all those things online. You know, at some point, you know, everybody has to go through that process of, you know, wanting to use a certain thing. Now, ChatGPT is free, right? But that's what everybody thinks. So it brings that conversation on, there is absolutely no free lunch, right? No free lunch anywhere. So whoever it is, everybody's using. So we started out with using Google Gmail, right? It was free. Everybody thought it was free. Nothing is free. At the point in time when you're signing off something, you know, which is the data, all right? And then they are liable to use that for whatever it is. Now, we're at the mercy. Nothing has really been different. It's just that we're getting more aware of what's going on right now. So the protection is there. Some of these organizations, they have ethical, but I mean, some things to protect you, but you can't be totally sure that they are protecting you because they're a more profit-making organization. They are not an NGO. So if they are not an NGO, they are liable to use your data in a certain way. Now, one of the most dangerous, which is one of the dangerous aspects of it, is almost like you're buying a gun. There is a license to it. We just don't draw the parallel to those things. Internet in itself can be dangerous, can be a dangerous place, can ruin lives. So there must be a lot of education. So as these things are going on, there must be education as to the downside to it. Now you're seeing a lot of more children more addicted to phones than even to sugar, right? So it's the same world that we are in. It doesn't change the landscape, so to speak. However, we need to be more aware and more, so there are more opportunities in terms of awareness, in terms of rights, in terms of advocacy that must be done, you know, in terms of all of these things. So when it starts bordering on your personal reputation or whatever it is you've lived or worked out for, then it becomes, maybe everybody is now getting all jittery about that part, but it's always been. So what then do you say to all these people who downloaded, what's it called now, CorelDRAW? There are licenses, there are things that they mentioned there. What if they had said in that thing that everything you created with CorelDRAW is ours, it's not your own? You know, there's this Shutterstock where people were thinking all Shutterstock images were free. At some point, people started rising up and there are certain conversations based on the organization you use those things for. Now, so there are rules and regulations, there are terms of reference for every conversation that is being held in the cyber.
Okay. Wale, I think Wale is also experiencing some downtime. Can you hear me? Dami, can you confirm if you can? Okay. Wale, go
I
ahead.
can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
You were just rounding up, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, so I talked about that. I'm not sure if you heard me though. Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, I think you landed your point quite well. That means also back here. We
All
hear
right.
you. I think what we can take away from this conversation, which is very time constrained, is we should all be ready to give something for something. Don't assume, like Wale said, that there's any free lunch in town, but we should be careful online, right? Let us move on from that conversation. I think we have 5 more minutes for this panel, but I don't want us to have this conversation without having a budgetary type conversation, because I know there are many marketers on this platform and they might want to hear 1 or 2 things. So this question will go to you, Wale. As marketing professionals, where one of the key drivers amongst the top industries that are using AI. In my industry, I mean, I work in PR, and in some form, we've always used some form of AI, even from measuring our sentiment analysis online, with the tools
Share
like
of
the
voice.
top. Exactly. I mean, gone are the days where we would basically calculate our ad value equivalent from calculating newspaper inches and stuff like that. We've gone past that. AI is supporting it now. So we should be excited about commanding more in terms of revenue as business owners, marketing professionals, with the possibilities of AI. Can you speak about that very quickly?
Absolutely. So let me give you an example, right? So we're being more scientific in our approach to things. So if, for instance, the equity of a brand can be damaged by certain sentiments, then it becomes easy for you to begin to say to a particular client, for instance, to say, so right now on social media, on all platforms, most people are going almost in the same direction, but there are certain conversations that are tailored to specific brand. So if I begin to invest, so to speak, in research, in AI, to bring you the kind of content that will eventually, because one of the major challenge M&CC, marketing and comms, have we in the landscape of brands is the fact that they can't actually even walk backwards and say, this is my contribution to this organization. So let's say, take a bank, for instance. So they say, you are not a marketing, you're not bringing in money, which is Naira and Kobo. But as a matter of fact, the content you put out there are the things that are giving people top of mind recall. So when you can measure those things, which is that this is my contribution on the premise of these things that we put out, people are taking a decision to be a part of your organization, which means that they are buying and they are selling with you. Then I am doing that. So if you can say, this month, we did this level of measurement on the premise of this, look at your balance sheet, and you can track those things back to that balance sheet, not just sales, but from marketing and comms or from PR, for instance. So the share of voice, so to speak, allows people, now, say for instance, an organization is going into the market, maybe they are launching an IPO, for instance. You can be rest assured that the positive sentiment will impact on whether somebody is going to buy shares in that company or not. This is what's going on. So if you buy stocks abroad, for instance, somebody makes an announcement about something, maybe Elon Musk says something about Tesla, or a government comes out and say something about Tesla, you just begin to see the share of stocks, the stocks in Tesla begin to rise up. No announcement was made other than that particular conversation. Then you begin to see how PR, how marketing comms can actually impact the sales and the bottom line. And of course, by reason of that, you can begin to charge premium for those kind of things. Thank you very much. I don't want to take too much of your time. I hope I'm not speaking to myself because I can't hear you.
No, we can hear you.
All right.
I mean, it's a very powerful conversation, but we will move to the audience now so that we allow the audience to also interact with us. And I know that we have a couple of questions here, and I'll take some. This one from Sunday Oyase says, will AI not give clients more options to create content without the need of marketing agencies? Okay, I'll leave Wale to take that one. But I think we've answered it.
So, I mean, like we said, AI can't essentially create content.
Exactly.
What AI would do is suggest what the content would be. What the agencies have always been doing is the thinking aspect of the entire process. So we started extending ourselves into content creation, but an agency is an ideas organization. there are people who bring to the fore several things, and then they merge every single thing and say, this is what we think your organization will resonate with and will impact. So one of the things we do when we start up any PowerPoint presentation is that this is the brief, this is the objective, and in the end, this will be the results. Literally, we are forecasters. We're literally saying to them, if you implement X, Y, Z, this is what's going to happen to your own organization. So right now, what they should be demanding of organizations should be actual results, which means that can you stake your name, your organization, your reputation, your money on this idea? And with the help of AI, I think it's very easy. I mean, like you read in the PowerPoint, in the what's it called? You know, when we ran that Global Hand Washing Day, I remember the name of the lady was Damilola in Unilever. And then she says, you know, we've done quite a number of activations, nothing has worked and all of that. If I don't get this thing sorted out, I will be fired. You know what? I can replace us, so to speak.
Wale, you said.
Okay, I can't hear you now. Can you hear me? All right.
I was mute. Can you hear me now? Okay. This question is for Emeka from Damilare Opunaya. He says, given that humans develop empathy through environmental simulations and context awareness, why do you believe AI cannot achieve a form of artificial empathy? Now, I don't know if Emeka is here to respond to this. Is Emeka still with us on the call? And Damilare has other questions as well, but if Emeka will take this one first.
Yeah.
We will have to borrow 10 minutes from the other remarks to quickly respond to one or two questions so the audience gets a feeling of being part of this. Thank you, Emeka.
Okay, fine. Dami, for that question. You remember when I started the keynote address, I did mention that there are so many misconceptions about artificial intelligence, which includes that machines can do everything. All right? No matter what these machines do, they remain machines. The sentiments that we express through the use of emojis in terms of mobile phones and so forth, so on, cannot be replicated by machines, okay? Therefore, empathy you can achieve through these machines and artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, as someone mentioned, I think one of the panelists mentioned, is pretty much garbage in and get some output out there. And it processes whatever you have garbaged in, okay? It cannot replace one-to-one touch and feel. It can replicate a visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, language translation. It cannot replicate emotions that come with human beings. It cannot replicate the human intuition that comes with creativity and things we do. I think that would be my response to that question. It remains, you need humans to operate those machines. Humans input those things. But let me say, for instance, you do know the reason why you can never inherit the PhD your father has. It dies with people. Our education died with us. But through AI, we're able to put so many things out there in the public, and machines will keep them. The internet, as they say, never forgets. But it can replicate the emotions behind those pieces of information that we put. It remains the same thing. So empathy will never be, is not in the foreseeable future what AI can deliver, in my opinion.
Thank you, Emeka. I don't know if you came across the research on the theory of mind and some other AI models that are being developed. Let's hope that we don't get to the point where, you know, the human mind and empathy is not replicated. But we take that. So thank you very much for that. Now, this question is also from Dami. Dami, I'm only going to take one more of your questions because you only got two. You seem to have a lot. But let me take this one because I want to bring Damilola on the panel back into the conversation. I think she'll be able to answer this. How do you perceive the risk of AI bias in regions like Africa, where there's limited data and models aren't locally trained? How might this affect marketing communications in our region? Dami, do you want to speak to this quickly?
Yes, actually, this is actually a very, very prevalent problem that we haven't, that we haven't found the solution to, for example. So, for example, in our school, at School Africa, when people come in to learn data analytics, for example, there are no localized data for them to learn. I don't know if you understand that perspective. So they learn data analytics by analyzing actual data. And there are data banks globally that we pick this data from for them to learn. So until we Africans, until Nigerians actually begin to understand the importance of actually putting our own voices out there, of actually having our data. For example, if you want to do a data in medicals, for example, that's just like an example. If you want to do a data in medicals, you wouldn't find a data from UCH on it. You wouldn't find a data from Lasuts on it. You'll be seeing data from John Hopkins College of Medicine. You understand? You'll be seeing foreign data on. This is because we Africans, Nigerians, for some reason, that is actually beyond the scope of this room. For some reasons, we do not see the value of putting our own data out there. So until that, this brings to mind that book, How Europe Underreported Africa. So until we begin to put our own data and our own information, feed the AI system with our data, it might be very difficult for us to solve this problem, because we would have, if you go online now to generate a marketing data for let's say a Nigerian startup, for example. Let's say I'm a clothing brand, I'm a Nigerian startup, I want to generate a data for the specifics of my target audience, blah, 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 without looking at the universal scope. It will be very, very difficult. So most time, what we can do as marketers is to infer that if 30% of this target audience, for example, probably the youth, are tending towards this, on a global scale, we can then decide that, this is what the result will be. But it is actually until we start putting our data out. That's my perspective anyways, coming from the trainings that we've been doing in data analytics and all of that.
Thank you, Dami. We have so many questions here. Unfortunately, I won't be able to take all of them, but I see two here that I can ask as our two last questions before we wrap up this session. Is there any risk of AI-generated content for SEO becoming a sea of sameness if it is always being asked to optimize for the current search algorithm? I think Dami can take that, while Wale, if you want to take the question on if AI will change the job landscape, which new jobs can be expected out of this revolution, before we wrap up. If I didn't call out your question, please try and rewatch this. It's because it has been answered in some shape or form and we're running out of time. Thank you. Go ahead, Dami.
Okay, thank you very much, Tosin. The honest fact is, the risk is, I would say it's a 50% risk, because AI are actually designed to understand you. For example, it's ChatGPT, the way it can actually tailor content to sound like you. It can tailor content to reason like you. So the risk is actually 50-50. And that is one of the reasons why we cannot remove the importance of human. why you would always, after your AI has generated this content, especially for SEOs and all of that search engine optimization, and all of that, you would need not just to copy and paste, to read through it, to say, oh, okay, this resonates with me. But there is a way you can impute data into your AI, that you can ask AI to generate data for you, that it would streamline it to be you, to actually be effective for you. So it's a 50-50, I would say a 50-50, and it is dependent on how well you have actually communicated or used. For example, I can go on ChatGPT and say, just say probably define artificial intelligence. It will probably give me the same thing it will give Tosin. Yeah. But if I go on it and say something like, how do I use artificial intelligence for blah, 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 blah? Do you understand? It comes more with a tailor-made response for me. So it's a 50-50 depending on how you've trained your AI to work for you.
Thank you, Dami. Wale, very quickly.
All right, then, very quickly. So, in terms of job let me use the word. I think the question is about job redefinition, right? So, what's going to happen more is that, and I think back then there was a Millennium Development Goal, and then one of the things they said is that one of the skills that will be needed in the future is cognitive reasoning. So, what's going to happen is that you got out of school and you're looking for a job and all that. It's not going to be about a certificate. Just the same way, it's assumed that anybody who got out of school knows how to use Microsoft package, Office, and all of that. So it's not going to be about questions and so can you use Office? Can you? No, it's not going to be about. It's going to be about cognitive reasoning. It's going to be about how deep are you? A deep thinker? Are you a creative person? Can you bring out something out of those things? Those are the new job description into the future. So nobody's going to be asking you all those write letters, all those things anymore. So what's going to happen is that AI would improve there will be new job description that will be formed. How can you solve complex problems? It's not going to be about those simple things anymore. All those monotonous job description are gone, or they will be gone. As a matter of fact, because those things can now be what's it called now? Like the video they shared, repetitive kind of job description would have to give way for those kind of things. So in the future, job description is going to be, are you an inductive reasoner? Are you someone who can think outside of the box, solve complex problems? Can you begin to break down certain level of thought? So people are here, for instance, but they want to be all over the world. So agencies are no longer limited by their geographical location, all right? Getting accounts right now, back then you have to be in alignment with organizations who have, alliance with big brands abroad. Not anymore. Nobody's doing that. You can be here, be working for companies in Asia, be working for companies in India, and those things are now democratized. So you're looking for people who are able to fit into that mold and be able to deliver. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wale. Let us wind down. What are our expectations and concerns for the future? Are we right to embrace AI in its entirety, or should we be afraid? I'll just take your last comment. Wale, you can go first.
Say that again, please. I was distracted.
I said I'll take your last comment. I want us to wind down. So let's take your last comment, even though we've established some facts, right? So I'm just saying that what are our expectations and concerns for the future? In summary, are we right to embrace AI, or should we be afraid?
Like the team of innovation will say, is either you innovate or you die. That's what's going to happen. So you die, just embrace it as much as possible. Thank you so much.
I love that. Just innovate or die. I use that line very recently. It's the truth. It summarizes everything we've said here. Dami, your final thoughts?
Okay, the honest fact is, I would like to say AI is actually here to stay. It is not going anywhere, and it can actually only get better from here on. It can actually be used to disrupt more industries, like it's even used in the construction industry. Yeah, so it is something that we should embrace. And the honest fact is, like Wale rightly mentioned, it will be to our advantage to not be the laggards. Actually, it will be to our advantage to be the early starters, to be the early adopters, and see how we can use the power of AI. I mentioned before that the languages and the frameworks that AI is built around goes a long way to show that this is for example, Google is built on Python, and most of the framework that AI is built around is Python. Yeah, so it goes a long way to show that, and Google has been here for a long time. It goes a long way to show that this thing has come to stay. It is actually, the onus falls on us to understand that, how do I use this to disrupt my industry? What is the thing that is actually there? Like, for example, Mr. Emeka made mention of billboards now using artificial intelligence. I saw online like a 3D billboard that uses artificial intelligence. How can we introduce this into the Nigerian marketing landscape? How can we change the industry? How can we disrupt the industry using AI? But kid you not, AI is actually here to stay. And honestly, it will not remove our job description. It will only enhance our job description. It will only make us better at what we do.
Thank you very much, Wale and Damilola. We have come to the end of this conversation, but let me conclude by wrapping up with some comments. We all agree that we're on the cusp of change in our relationship with machines. AI has become a powerful force. Machines can now perform tasks only considered prior to now for humans. It's a seismic change. We agree that, I think from this conversation, we all agree that AI enhances human intelligence. It is not here to replace, but there are some ethical considerations, and I will share some that have come out of this conversation. In marketing, some concerns are invasion of privacy and increased surveillance, exploitation of data for marketing purposes, which can actually create resentment with our consumers. Some activities AI is automating can pose a threat to human judgment, but in all of this, we all agree that AI automates our tasks, and it also creates new opportunities. I would say we're moving from an information revolution to the intelligence revolution. As a human race, we will benefit from the opportunities that AI presents to us. As organizations, it is time to take action to gain competitive advantage. Let AI help you with routine tasks so you can focus your energy on creative ways to engage your consumers. The train is moving very fast. Do not be left behind. Thank you very much for this platform to deliberate. Let me thank profusely our keynote speaker. We couldn't have done this without you. Your report, your submission was quite robust. Wale and Dami, you're the most passionate panelists that I've ever had to moderate. So I'm glad we had this conversation. I'm going to be calling on Dipo Adeshida now to give us his own closing remarks. Dipo, I don't know if you're there. Please give us some closing remarks.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, depending on where you're logging in from. Thank you very much for being part of today's Innovention Roundtable. Just as Tosi has said, this is the 12th year of Verdant Zeal running this series and the 3rd year of us doing the Roundtable. Just to piggyback off the credits, thank you very much to Emeka Okeke for his very erudite presentation today, even though it seemed like artificial intelligence was trying to snuff out the life out of the presentation, but we still made it to the very end. So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Thank you to Wale Kundayo. Wale used to be one of us. He's a very proud music person. So thanks for always answering our call. Thanks to Damilola. God bless you. We appreciate your time. And to our wonderful moderator today, Tosi, thank you very much. Your energy was just giving today, you know. Thank you. And to our wonderful audience, we really appreciate your time and the very robust conversation, both in the chat box and in the Q&A segment. Now, what would interest you is that we're going to be having the main Innovention Series, which is going to hold on the 27th of October at the Civic Center. This is the 12th in the series, and it's going to be a physical event. The topic, very much related to today's, is the future of Africa's creative industries in the era of artificial intelligence. So we're moving it out of just the scope of marketing communications, and we're going to be talking about our creative industries. As you can tell, Africa is like trailblazing right now in fashion, in music, in movies. A lot is going on, and we want to be part of that conversation. We're not afraid of what is coming. What we want to do is to embrace it, prepare ourselves, take advantage, milk the opportunities so that we stay right on top. So we'll be looking forward to having you at this event. The link to the register is there. It's going to be a physical event at the Civic Center, 27th of October, 2023, here in Lagos. Also, we're going to be having a session at Babcock University. As you know, this conversation is continuous, so we're going to be engaging the student population next month. The details will be sent to your email addresses. From all of us at Verdant Zeal and the Innovention team, we'd like to say thank you very much for sharing your morning and afternoon with us. We hope that you go back to your various organizations and take the learnings that you've had here today to build more robust systems in, increasing awareness, in driving for efficiency, in not being afraid, but, looking for ways that to infuse AI into how we deliver on our services. And of course, in terms of advocacy for, the guardrails that will make this safe for the various stakeholders that we have. So thank you very much. It's 12:54 here in Lagos, Nigeria, and would like to bring it to a close. And until we meet again in October, we'd like to say thank you very much for joining and have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Depo. Thank you, speakers. Thank you, panelists. Thank you, everyone, participants, for joining. Thank you for your questions. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
In today's fast-paced world, where technology evolves at an unprecedented rate, one innovation stands out: artificial intelligence, AI. From self-driving cars to medical diagnosis, AI has transformed multiple industries. Now, it's reshaping the landscape of marketing communications. In an era inundated with information, businesses are seeking smarter ways to connect with their target audience. Enter AI-driven marketing. Traditional marketing methods involved manual analysis of data, a time-consuming and often error-prone process. AI, however, can analyze vast amounts of data in real time, providing insights that drive informed decisions. AI-powered chatbots, like those you find on websites, have revolutionized customer interaction. They offer instant responses, enhancing user experiences and saving time for both customers and businesses. Marketing professionals are now armed with AI tools that help them predict trends and consumer behavior. These insights guide the creation of personalized campaigns that resonate with individuals on a deeper level. Voice search has become a ubiquitous part of our lives. AI voice assistants are now changing how consumers interact with brands. Marketers must adapt their strategies to optimize for voice search, ensuring their content reaches audiences through this new channel. Industry experts believe that AI is not here to replace marketers, but rather to enhance their capabilities. As AI takes care of repetitive tasks, marketers can focus on strategy, creativity, and building meaningful connections with customers. The realm of content creation is also experiencing a revolution. AI can now generate written articles, design visuals, and even edit videos. This expedites the creative process, enabling marketers to produce high-quality content at a rapid pace. So, what does the future hold? Imagine walking down the streets of a city where AI-driven holographic advertisements respond to your preferences and emotions in real time. The convergence of AI and marketing communications is an exciting journey into the future. As technology continues to advance, the possibilities are limitless. By harnessing the power of AI, businesses can forge stronger connections, create impactful campaigns, and deliver personalized experiences that resonate with consumers on a whole new level. The Innovention Series is a corporate social responsibility platform instituted in 2012 by Verdant Zeal. Each year, the Innovention Series tries to identify one key idea that can change the world, especially in an age where the global economy continues to trend so unpredictably. This year, the Innovention Roundtable brings you artificial intelligence and the future of marketing communications.